What's good, everybody on YouTube? This is your boy Akil McLeod, and I'm a full-time eBay and Poshmark seller. And in today's video, I want to give you guys some tips on how to provide excellent customer service, even if you're selling things online. So if you guys are interested in these kind of videos, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright, y'all, so if you're anything like me, when it comes to customer service, the one thing that I love about selling things online is that customer service is a lot easier. You don't have to deal with people walking in and out of your store, trying things on and putting it back, unfolding items just to look at it and then just tossing it back on the rack. Like, you don't have to deal with a lot of those type of things. And not to say that I have a ton of retail experience, but trust me, I used to shop a lot, and I was one of those people that I would walk into a store, and if I didn't feel like I was greeted well, or if I feel like somebody isn't willing to help me, I'd walk out and I just wouldn't have a good customer experience. But the good thing about selling things online is that it's only a few things that you can do to really provide good customer service. So one of the first things you can do to provide excellent customer service when you're selling things online is to be 100% transparent in your description and just be 100% honest overall. What I mean by that is, even if you're selling something on eBay, Poshmark, or even if you have a Shopify store, the best thing to do is to be 100% honest. Now, I've even heard some resellers say one of the hardest parts about selling things online is dealing with the customer after the item is sold. And honestly, if you're doing everything right in your description and you're not lying or you're not trying to swindle, once the item is shipped out, that's really the sale is really complete for the most part. And of course, sometimes you will have to accept returns because the item doesn't fit. But outside of the item not fitting or the customer changing their mind because of they may have found it cheaper somewhere else, outside of those two reasons, there really shouldn't come a time where you should be worried about the customer's overall experience once you shipped out that item. So one of the best ways to counteract that is to make sure that you're 100% honest in your description. And if the item is used and it has any flaws, definitely detail that in the description. And even if it's brand new with tags, but it's a B grade and it may have came from an outlet and it literally has the B grade sticker on there, definitely be upfront and 100% honest with the buyer, because some buyers, they don't want B grade stuff and they don't want things with manufacturer defects or anything like that. So definitely be 100% honest, because by doing that, you'll be able to maintain some longevity in the business, and you might even be able to retain customers and have them come back and shop with you again and again and again. Now, the second most important thing about providing excellent customer service when you're selling things online is your response time. Now, for me, I usually like to answer any questions I might get on eBay or on Poshmark within 2 to 3 hours. But if it's after hours and I'm trying to spend some time with my fiance, or I'm out on a date, or I'm just seriously busy, I like to at least get back to them within at least 24 hours. And by doing that, you're letting the buyer know that you're not trying to avoid them and you're not trying to, swindle them in any way, and you're just trying to get back to them as quickly as possible. Now, like I said, sometimes you might be busy, you might be out of town, and you're just not able to respond to them as quickly as they would like to be responded to. But at the end of the day, you have to show the effort and you have to let them know that you're not trying to swindle them in any way. And if they have any questions or any concerns about a purchase that they may have already ordered, you really have to get back to them as fast as possible, because especially if you're selling things on eBay or even on Poshmark, negative feedback is the worst and the last thing that you definitely want. So always keep your response time in mind and keep it as low as possible. And if you can answer a quick question within at least 2 to 3 minutes, go ahead and do that, because that might actually seal the deal and close a couple sales for you if you can answer a question really, really quickly. The next most important thing about providing excellent customer service online is willing to accept returns and providing full refunds or even partial refunds depending on the situation. So I'll give you guys a quick story and kind of some background onto how I came up with this idea for this video. Now, I actually just had a customer that bought a shirt from me. They messaged me and they said that there was a flaw in one of the shirts that they ordered from me, and it clearly was a flaw that I missed, because I usually try to go over every item that I sell with a fine-tooth comb. But of course, it was a pinhole, so I definitely missed out on that. And instead of going back and forth or trying to deal with the customer in any type of negative way, I basically just asked them what would they prefer, and I gave them two options: either a full refund and I would cover the cost of shipping, or I would give them a partial refund and they can keep the shirt and we can just go like that. And for them, they decided to keep the shirt and they preferred a partial refund. and I believe they paid $30 for the shirt, and I just went ahead and gave them the shirt for half off just to cover any inconvenience, because for some people they don't really care about a small hole in a shirt or a small stain, but for some people that can definitely be a deal breaker, especially if my description said that the item was flawless. So that was just a very small situation that happened, but it could have been a really big situation if I didn't go ahead and handle it as soon as possible, because that buyer could have went ahead and left me negative feedback if I took too long to respond to them. And having negative feedback on eBay or on any platform whatsoever is just really bad for business, and it can slow down your longevity when it comes to being an entrepreneur or an overall business owner. Because nowadays, at the end of the day, your name is all that you have. So if you have a history of providing bad customer service, word will definitely spread and you won't be able to last long in business. And that goes for whatever business that you're in, even if you're in fitness, or if you're on reselling, or if you're just an entrepreneur in something else. So you definitely want to maintain your name in whatever it is that you're doing, and really just provide excellent customer service, because at the end of the day, if it's not for the customers, you really won't have a business. And last but certainly not least, when it comes to providing excellent customer service, especially when you're selling things online, is your handling time. Now, this is something that I'm a huge proponent of, and I keep telling you guys about this anytime somebody asks me questions about how I ship and what I like to do when it comes to shipping. Now, for me, when it comes to Poshmark in particular, I'm not one of those people that like to wrap up items with tissue paper and unicorns and butterflies and all that type of pretty shit. But for me, I like to focus on handling time. So I like to ship things either the same day or the very next business day. And for me, that's super important, because I know if I was to buy something online, if the item isn't exactly as described, and I may have seen a couple flaws that wasn't actually detailed, if I got it in a good enough amount of time and I got it really quickly, that might make me forgive the seller for missing out on a couple flaws or not describing a stain as well as I would have liked them to, because for me, getting the item as quickly as possible is a little more important. So I like to at least treat people the way that I would like to be treated, especially when it comes to online sales. But I also believe that for most buyers, everybody wants to get their things as soon as possible. And anytime I go through my feedback, I'm always noticing that that's one of the first things that people say: super fast delivery, and they're very happy about that. So always keep in mind that your handling time is super important. Even if selling things online is more of a part-time hustle for you, or it's a side hustle, definitely keep in mind that handling time is super important, and you have to ship out your items as soon as you're able to. Now, like I said, it doesn't have to be as quickly as same day or next business day, but just try to ship it out as soon as you can. And if something happens where you can't ship it out as fast as you would like to, definitely message the buyer, keep in contact with them, and let them know that the item is on the way and you'll be shipping it out as soon as possible. So that's all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed that one, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if there's anything about customer service that I may have forgotten, drop it in the comment section so you can keep that conversation going. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.